Welcome Scorpio to Ash's Temperance. This is Rosa and today we are looking at your March 2026. Scorpio, what has you up at night during this month of March? Something that started in February, something that started in the beginning of the year. Whatever it is, let's dig in a little deeper because you are losing some sleep. You're often in your head. You are pondering your thoughts. You're searching for some kind of solution here because your month is represented by the Nine of Swords, the card of endless thinking, mental cruelties, anxious and constantly searching for a solution to, we got cards, a solution to some kind of problems. Your first trimester of the year was, however, highlighted by the cleaning it up. So what are you trying to clean up? Is this actually maybe mental cleaning up? Is this emotional cleaning up? But you are in your mind. So, oh boy. And there we have deceit. Deceit. What are you worried about? What's going on? We also have, however, the Angel of Balance. Aren't these two very contradictory cards here? What's going on? We're talking swords, right? So did you find something out that's bothering you, Scorpio? Cleaning it up. Were you actually maybe physically cleaning up your home and stumbled upon something? Let's find out a little more, okay? But this Deceit card has me a bit concerned here. So let's see how we're going to get through this or find out what is being deceitful. All right, we're starting strong here. Eight of Wands. Oh, okay. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, I'm liking this. You know, sometimes then the sun sign. Okay, sometimes when we sometimes discover deceit in our lives, it is a gift from the universe to be able to discover it and see it. Unfortunately, the world is full of deceitful people as well, or opportunities or events that unfortunately did, I don't want to say require, but did unfortunately take a direction of deceitfulness. But being able to see that is sometimes in itself a gift. So let's see where Lady Justice, the sun, double sun, Scorpio. Oh, okay. This worried me a little, but I think you're going to be just fine. Eight of Cups, and there it is. This is it. This is our guy. Seven of Swords. That's the deceit. That's the deceit. That's the trickery, okay? Let's see where this is leading us. Where is this? What does Scorpio need to know? What does Scorpio need to clean up? There it is. For the month of March 2026, move on. Move on, Scorpio. Oh, boy. Move on. Look at this. That's your moving on. That's moving away from something that you once valued. You are moving on to something better. Okay, Scorpio. So on an immediate, we are talking about a relationship, okay? This can, however, in your reality, be a representation of career, job place. Could definitely be a very close relationship, could be a friendship, could be acquaintance, but it does feel like there is a sentiment of being let down, not having seen this coming. When I mentioned that sometimes discovering a deceit is a gift from the universe, that's from the Ace of Cups that we're going to explore here in just a moment. But your cleaning up started in January, February, and now is ending in March. January, we had the Princess of Pentacles, you know, holding something of clarity coming to you, something you value. Also could have been Pentacles, so that could also touch health. We went into the Eight of Pentacles with the month of February. Honestly, for those who haven't seen your yearly yet, please go by and check that out. Go back. Those who haven't seen the month of February, time is fluid in readings, right? So you are meant to see things when you are meant to see them. So never hesitate to go check it out if you feel that something resonates with possibly something you've been through, right? But now we're in March. And this is the last part of your cleaning it up for the first trimester of 2026. With the Princess of Pentacles, there could have been a glimpse of something in January that you probably saw, got a sneak peek of, maybe got a smidget of clarity on a situation. And Scorpio, if there's one thing we know about Scorpios is you guys don't let go of things like that. You have a good memory. You know, when you have a doubt, you'll put on that back burner until it comes back up or until you get more information, right? But here we are in March, and I think the information you were seeking, or more profound information based on a relationship of some sort, is coming in. But Scorpio, from what I'm seeing here, as unpleasant as this could be for you, it does feel that it is for your greater good. Okay, so I'm not saying this isn't going to be easy. You know, move on is said very easily here, but it's not going to be an easy task. This is where your angel of balance is going to come into play. But let's start off by exploring the very beginning of this, okay? So we are starting off with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands talks about self-imposed limitations, but we are pairing this up with the Sun. Now, in this specific deck, Lady Justice, when paired up with cards where it could be a self-imposed something, or self-inflicted, or self-reflective, to me this is always a representation of the power being in your hands. You hold the cards, no pun intended, you hold the cards to how this is going to play out, okay? This is about boundaries. This is about self-inflicted limitations. I can't do more than this, or I shouldn't do more than this, or no, I'm not allowed to do that. Lady Justice speaks about fairness, justice being rendered. This has to do with the sentiment of, you know, I need a balance in life. It's fine if, you know, I've accepted certain boundaries from an individual, but in retrospect, this is not fair. And the way you're going to handle these boundaries, these rules, if we can, these limitations, these guidelines of where you can and cannot act within, well, this is up to you, right? It's in your hands. But Lady Justice, with her eyes being closed, doesn't need to see. You don't need to see. You know there's something that feels to me unfair, possibly, or deceitful in this situation, the situation that's possibly got you all, I want to say the terms tied up, but that would be more of an Eight of Swords sentiment. But to me, this is it feels like bars. You know, you're caught in a situation, and it's not necessarily fair to you to being caught in the situation, but within your own hands, by your own actions, can you attain your sun? And in March, you're gonna get that, Scorpio, because you just got, look at this, look how gorgeous this is, the double sun, okay? You may very well be allowing this to happen because of love and commitment, because I do have an Ace of Cups here, right? So Cups is definitely love and commitment, and you are walking away from Cups, fulfillment, happiness, emotional peace. You're walking away from something that's not, you're not walking away from something that brings you misery. You're walking away from something that you value here. But whatever this is that you value has certain boundaries that you've been working with, and it seems that this is the month where you just can't take this anymore. This is bothering you more than just, you know, as further than just the I don't like this or I have enough of this. This is legitimately keeping you up at night. This is itching under the skin. It's that itch you just can't grab, you know? It's gone too far. And it's not fair. And deceit doesn't necessarily mean a lie, okay? Deceit could be that you have been convinced, whether it be from an upbringing or whether it be from whoever this individual is, but you've been convinced that Your duty is to do this, okay? That is also deceit. Well, if you love me, then you will A, B, C, D. And suddenly this is playing out to say, no, no, hold on. That's not how this is supposed to work, okay? So within your own hands here, you have the power to find your sun. Will you find your sun? You will. You will, because I have it not only once, but I have it twice. And the sun is the happiest card of the deck. So whatever the situation, and I feel this is a very past, we're at the end of this, right? The Nine of Swords is just before that cycle conclusion to 10, right? Well, right before this comes to an end. But you are finding around week 2, something's coming into play. The Ace of Cups is coming to you. So the Ace of Cups, again, could be a new beginning, a new potential, a new opportunity, but it can also be a divine form of intervention, right? You can have a epiphany moment. You can have a dream that just left you so marked. It doesn't have to be something of this material world, but there's something in week 2 that is so profound that it speaks to you on a different level, and it refills that cup of fulfillment, but with it'll be accompanied by the sentiment of, hold on, I am in absolutely no obligation to accept these boundaries or these rules. I don't love you any less, or I don't appreciate you any less, or if this were to be work, I'm not any less loyal to the company or to the employer, example, but I'm not okay with this anymore. And you're going to be just fine having that discussion, because you need to have that discussion, and you need to understand that parts of that discussion may go your way, right? I do have the angel of balance. So we must balance our logic with our heart. We must balance. Lady Justice is also a representation of clearly the justice system. The Libra, this is Libra represented in your chart. So we're talking about the balance, the scale. I am balancing my thoughts and my emotions. This isn't a type of outburst situation, but you're going to call a spade a spade. You're going to call out how unfair this deceitful notion is. And it's actually going to be so uplifting that you're going to feel this weight off your shoulders. And this is the last element you need to clean up before you walk into the next 3 months of the year. So the second trimester, let's say, of 2026. The sun is governing this 8 of Cups, which tells me have the courage, because you will shine. Okay. The sun is represented by the Leo, right? Leo card. Leo governs the sun. So you will shine. And for those who understand tarot, or you remember having seen at a given point the card of strength, it is represented by a lion. Okay. So definitely have that courage, because that courage will bring about this 8 of Cups for you. This should happen more or less midpoint of the month of March, okay? More in the second week along this, but again, time is fluid. So wherever you're listening to this, assume this to be maybe in the next 4 weeks or so, okay? Following that moment, that card, the sun card, continues. So your blessings continue, your shining continues, your fulfillment, your happiness, your dream come true continues. Suddenly you have this renewed sense of happiness with the sun card. And that brings about this, the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is not only the courage to, but it is the serenity to walk away from something, not because you despise it or hate it, because it's done. It did what it had to do. That relationship ran its course. You organically and peacefully walk away from a situation or a place or even a person, okay? You do exactly this. You move on. And you'll know it's right, Scorpio, because there's no looking back. There's no doubting. There's no thinking twice. You're just going to be okay with it. And it's not going to be a bad break. It's not going to be leaving on bad terms. This is just going to flow, and you will have that moment of pause where you'll almost question, how and why you didn't get here sooner. And the answer is you didn't have to. You weren't supposed to get here sooner. This and now is how you're going to get here, okay? When all this starts up and you feel that evolutionary moment that I'm moving away from someone, something, or a situation, there we have the influence of the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the feminine divinity, the feminine source of energy. She is the embodiment of intuition. She is all that talks about having, universal knowledge, that knowledge from the universal consciousness, and all the water that flows in the decks, all the water that flows amongst the cards starts from her. Okay, that is the story behind this. And she is the embodiment of the peace that when you're going through this moment of separation, when you're walking away, she is that serenity. You just know that this is the right place, this is the right time, this is the right way. Okay? And if in this moment or in your situation, so if this is a workplace, if this is, englobing or going around your health, if this has to do with a relationship or a friendship, once and only once you have gone through this path to leave, then in that moment you will have seen the last piece of the puzzle. And it is this individual here who was at the core of the deception. Okay. This could be, if this is a work situation, this could have been a colleague that maybe you confided in, because we are carrying swords. You could have confided in this colleague. If this is a romantic situation, this could have been maybe a common friend who you confided in about whatever emotions or whatever situation you were going on with your partner. The sentiment I get is that somewhere you've always had a little doubt about this person. And you will get your answer. You will get that closure. But once you've had the courage to do this, okay, to move away, to move on, but to retake your power before doing so. Okay, Scorpio? All in all, if there's a takeaway here, that takeaway is do not lose the core center of your balance between thoughts and emotions, okay? The angel of balance is there, because where you can lose that is in your verbal, okay? As we are speaking, as we may even dispute or argue, I have here blue, which to me as a reader signifies your throat chakra, okay? This is also a representation of the cup. Through maintaining balance of what I think, what I feel, what I know, okay, maintaining that inner peace, I am given my cup. But if you just go haywire on this, and it's Armageddon and yelling and the cursing and the trying to, through anger and negative vibrations, trying to get this point through anger and power fight, then this cup will not necessarily be waiting for you, because that's not how this is to be attained. This does not feel like a war. This does not feel like a blow up conflict. This is you are ready, Scorpio. You are there. You are ready. You've kind of known something's been going on for a while. You are at a different level. You have cleaned up a lot in your world, in your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual over the last 2 months. And this is that last drop that doesn't necessarily, won't break the camel's back, but it is just enough for you to say, I'm done here. You know what? I'm done. I deserve better. I was fooled. I was deceived into believing certain elements. I was deceived into giving as much as I gave. I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to be right to myself, be fair to myself, and you'll see the rest of the situation kind of just unfolds itself. But Scorpio, if there's one thing we can say, it is absolutely time to move on, and do not be afraid, Scorpio. You have the double sun. Scorpio, this is what I have for you for the month of March. Please take the parts that resonate with you, leave the rest. I do invite you to consult also your sun, moon, and rising readings. There may be messages there that will piggyback or complement this one. But above all, I do send you much love and courage for the month of March. I'm so excited to know what goes on with these two suns here. What is this beautiful outcome? Although the situation in itself may be difficult, you'll be just fine, Scorpio. I'm fairly certain of that. So you take care of yourself, and I will be seeing you very soon. Bye-bye now.